This is the Aftermarket Radio Network.
Welcome to another episode of Speak Up Effective Communication, the place for focusing on elevating our communication and speaking skills here in the automotive repair industry. I'm your host, Craig O'Neill, and in our episode today, we're talking Vision 2025 with a special guest from our course, Speak Up, that Chris Cloutier and I presented with at Vision. Joining me today is Drew Van Der Wiede. Hi, Drew.
Hey, Craig. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man. Thanks for being here, dude. Thanks for being in the course. Thanks for agreeing to do this podcast. I've been excited to have this conversation since we talked about it while we were still on the ground of Vision, dude. This is going to be fun. All right, folks. Every time we do an episode, we have a word of the day, and today's word of the day is gumption. We'll define that word for you after a word from our sponsors who make this show possible. Stop stressing over your business. You deserve a good night's sleep. The Institute's coaching helps you achieve success and financial peace. Learn more at wearetheinstitute.com/business-assessment. Your partner in technology, AutoFlow is able to enhance your client interactions before, during, and after the visit from a single thread. To see how AutoFlow makes it simple, visit AutoFlow.com. Are you tired of juggling multiple tools to manage your auto repair shop? Say goodbye to the chaos and hello to streamlined efficiency with AutoLeap, the #1 all-in-one auto repair shop management software. With AutoLeap, you can sell more, save precious time, and delight your customers with every interaction. Your trusted companion, ShopDog Marketing, is right by your side, attracting the best customers and building long-term growth. Call ShopDog Marketing today or visit shopdogmarketing.com. Every professional auto repair shop needs a trusted communication partner. At Inbound, our established VoIP platform is backed by years of industry experience, guarantees reliable connections, and is combined with cutting-edge AI-powered analytics. We deliver actionable insights that support your business growth. With Inbound, you get more than just calls. You get a smarter, more efficient operation. Get Inbound on your team today and see how we can transform your business. Visit callinbound.com. All right, we're back. Word of the day is gumption. That is a noun. Gumption, shrewd or spirited initiative and resourcefulness. I will use it in a sentence. I will say, Drew had the gumption to fund his own trip to Vision in 2025. And there he was. There you were, Drew. Vision 2025. How many times have you been to Vision now?
3 times.
3 times. Technical training, management training. Which circuit are you normally in?
The management side.
Management side?
Yep.
Nice. And so your role is the service manager at which shop?
Mahomet Car Connection.
Mahomet Car Connection in Mahomet, Illinois. Central Illinois. You were showing me on your map that doesn't look at all like a hand.
Yes.
Not everyone can be like Michigan. That's all right. Central Illinois, I drove right by. I'm fairly sure on my way to Vision because I got stuck at Midway Airport and our flight to Kansas got canceled. Okay. I actually made it to the next flight, but I decided not to abandon my teammate who was with me who didn't get on to the next flight. And we ended up driving for 8 hours.
You had a ride with Eric Ziegler.
I did my first year. Yes.
That was in Peoria, which is nearby.
Yep. So I'm very familiar with that area then. Well, at least familiar enough in the sense that when I did arrive my first year going to Vision in Peoria, Illinois to join up with Eric Ziegler, first thing we did, hopped in the car, did a mobile visit for one of his clients. And then we went to Vision. It was pretty cool. So did you drive or did you fly?
I drove.
Okay. So from there, 7.5 hours?
It's a little bit longer in a Tesla because the superchargers, but yeah.
Okay. Nice.
The full self-driving was really nice.
Oh, I bet that was wonderful. So you got into the electric cars. All right.
Yep.
Good. Enjoying it?
Yeah. I mean, my commute every day is about an hour. I have 110 miles a day. So having something that allows me to just relax and focus on whatever I'm listening to, helps out.
Good call. No, we just got an EV ourselves, Subaru Solterra. Not as great a range as the Teslas have, but for our in-town commuting, man, it was funny. The quick funny story. On our way to Vision, the VW that we were renting from Midway Airport had to get gas, of course, about, 360 miles into the trip. The thing has start, stop. I pull in. We stop at the gas station. The car shuts off. I get out. I go start pumping the gas, and I start noticing it's like the exhaust coming out of the pipe. I never shut that car off. My gas filling skills have waned. Oh, well. But no, Drew, the reason I wanted to have you here today, and thank you so much for joining us, is as an attendee of our Speak Up Effective Communication class, you were one of the brave souls who volunteered to come up and do a speech in the workshop. We had 5 speeches in the first half of the class, and what really impressed me was that you and 2 others in the second half of the class came up to Chris and I in between on the break and said, "Hey, could I do a speech still?" And the answer, of course, is yes. We will find a way to make sure that happened. And I have to ask, in that first portion of the class, were you kicking yourself for not volunteering sooner? What was going through your head?
Absolutely. So you guys had picked the first 2 people, because there was 3 people that you picked initially, right?
Yeah, there was 5 total for the first round. We had Keith, Corey, Jesse. He was in that group. Alan and John. Yeah, and we had evaluators for each of them.
Your memory's better than mine.
Maybe. I don't know. So, yeah, you saw them do that thing and you're thinking, okay, maybe I can do it too. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I was thinking I need to do that. I don't want to. I need to.
Ooh, I love it. All right, because this is a class, we're talking glossophobia. We're talking the fear of public speaking, how it's 76% of all people have it. Chris and I, we've talked about this as well with me and Chris, and we never really imagined we'd see a room the size that we saw even at Vision this year or previous years. We thought maybe 7 people would ever sign up for a class like this and maybe 3 people would stay, knowing how it feels to get up in front of a room the first time with the nerves that are there. And I have to ask, were the nerves there?
Absolutely. The nerves were there to the point where when I was giving the speech, I couldn't see anyone's faces. I couldn't focus.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And I went and looked at my notes and it's like, I can't read any of that.
Wow.
It was terrifying.
Interesting. Because here's the thing. Like, I'm used to watching this in my home Toastmasters Club. Lots of people giving speeches their first times in front of a group. And I thought you performed on par and great in terms of not just your experience, but truly as far as getting up in front of a room that size. When I started Toastmasters, I never had a room with an audience that size. I'd be freaked out. And it was about 10 or 15 people the first time I was in front of a Toastmasters Club meeting. You were in front of a group of about 80 people, and you did great. And you had a speech. It was titled Proving Everyone Wrong. Is that correct? Proving Everyone Wrong. And what a great title. I thought it was something that when you're introduced, we always introduce the speaker and then the title of the speech. And that one is, it really grabs you. Proving Everyone Wrong. I'll tell you, right, my first reactions to titles, I always think like, okay, interesting. Is this going to be a speech about ego or is this going to be a speech about overcoming? And what I heard was an amazing story about overcoming. Care to elaborate a little bit for our audience?
Yeah. I mean, in my speech, because I couldn't read my notes, I only touched on half of it.
Now's your chance to get the other part out.
I was born with a brachial plexus injury. It's a nerve injury that affects the use of my left arm. Doctors said that I wasn't ever going to be able to use my left arm for anything useful. If you think of the movie Scary Movie, the guy that used my strong hand, that's how they expected my arm to end up. But through a bunch of surgeries, hundreds of hours of surgeries, and a lot of therapy, I was able to get motion and strength in my arm. And, they still said, you're not going to be able to do anything really useful with it. I ended up going the technician route. Spent several years as a technician working on cars. Actually started in the heavy equipment field, working on backhoes and tractors and all that kind of stuff.
Using full use of your arm in those years?
Not full use, but as much use as I can get out of it.
Wow. So it puts new emphasis on the whole idea of working smarter with the tools that you have, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Wow. Heavy work is tough too. Being in my closest experience with that is transmission work. The heavy repairs, still large transmissions. I've never been a big guy myself, and yet finding clever, creative ways to make leverage and use force and lift heavy objects without injuring yourself is parcel for that sort of a task. So it probably made you pretty creative and resourceful, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Nice. But even still, didn't have full use of the arm during this time. And did it improve from then?
Yeah, I still don't to this day. So I'd like to say I've got 80% movement of my arm. I can't straighten it completely. Likewise, I can't put my left arm behind my back. It's actually difficult for me to even touch my stomach with my left arm. The range of motion's fairly limited.
Interesting. But yet functioned as the technician during that time and our service manager now at the shop.
Yeah. I did transition from the shop, the technician, into management and dealing with the business side of things.
No, a good move for anyone as we age anyways, to be clear.
Yeah.
But no, all right. So you made that transition to management. Is that when you started to attend events like Vision as well?
Yeah. So actually, as a technician, I was watching or listening to what is now the Changing the Industry podcast. And they kept mentioning Vision. I was like, what is this? And, start looking into it. And it's like, man, I want to do that. That looks really interesting. So I ended up, getting into management and was like, you know what? I'm going to go to that.
There you were giving a speech in front of a group this year. So, all right. Now, in this speech, you talked about the fact that the odds seemed against you and everyone was telling you the same sort of news. When you're giving this speech, that's kind of an emotional element too. So you already described it, the visual component of looking out at that room. Giving a speech in front of a group of people about a personal thing, what was your thoughts about what the audience would think of this?
I really didn't think about what the audience was going to think about it. I mean, I know I've got a good enough story to hopefully inspire someone to improve themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you can think of what you want the audience to take away with, I personally have felt that makes it a little less intimidating to get up and say what you want to say. And then you'd have the opportunity to see what this audience was like. Did you have any reservations about the audience?
Not terribly. I mean, I know we had some people leave early on. So I knew that everyone that was sticking around was there for the class and to learn.
Yeah, that's what we try to cultivate. It's not for everyone. Some people, it's either they're terrified of giving a speech and participating, or the other side is perhaps not interested in listening to other people. And that's both things. Either one of them can be a hindrance to communication. And we try to quell that as much as we can. So you got up there, you gave the speech. I thought, again, you did a really good job. The evaluation portion. Did you get some good feedback out of your evaluator or anything that you remembered specifically that you'll want to take and improve next?
The ums and ers.
Classic. Yes.
It certainly sounded like I was the worst in the class for the ums and ers.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't recall that part, but that we had somebody's job was to pay attention to the ahs, ers. So I was more listening to other things.
I mean, I only made it 3 minutes. I'm sure there was a lot.
Yeah. Going the distance for a 5 to 7 minute speech sometimes. And I think you already mentioned this. You thought of some other things later on, probably, or immediately perhaps. Oh, I should have said.
Well, I had the notes.
It's a universal, Drew. I can comfort you with that. That's why practice is always the thing. Yeah. If anyone got everything in on the first shot, they're like, this is easy. So what else would you have wanted to get in? What were some of the points you missed that you recalled later?
I want to be tactful in how I say this because I don't want to paint my father in a bad light by any means, but he was not supportive of me entering into the automotive field at all. It took some convincing for him to understand that that's really what I want to do. He kind of had the same idea and preconceived notions about mechanics and shops are dirty. And
yeah, we collectively refer to it as the stigma of the industry.
Yes, that certainly lived within his mind. I don't think that's true anymore.
Oh, for your dad, he's come around to this as well.
Absolutely.
So, wow, I'm already seeing this as such a beautiful piece of that speech. That would have been the proving everyone wrong piece in another category. So there's the arm, and then there's your family perspective of the industry that you serve in. So yeah, that's powerful, man. I'm glad we're talking about it now so it comes to light.
I assume you're going to be taking or doing this class again next year.
We hope so. There's an application process. And so with the feedback and everything else that we get, hopefully they'll make the decision to do it again. Because it is, for me and Chris, like if there's one thing we get to do, it is this. And it's precisely because of the stories that we get to hear from people. And this year, there were some other profound takeaways that you shared with me too, that I had never considered as a potential takeaway from the class. But you mentioned, I think it was Friday or Saturday we were talking. You had gone to lunch with another attendee that you met through the class. Who'd you have lunch with?
It was Will.
Yes, he did one of the evals, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember specifically now.
Yeah, I remember whose eval he did. But yes, he did an eval.
Nice. I'll have to dig into my notes. They're really, I write a lot of notes. They're not very organized. It's more of a graphic visual map thing.
It works the way your mind works, right?
But I don't hear about this from a technical training class all the time, where you get to hear someone's story, make a connection with someone, make plans, and then go out to lunch during the course of the event. That's one of the things that I thought was really neat about this. And my reflections on this with Chris is like, anytime we do this class, we need to make sure that it's at the front end of the event. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have a strong feeling about this, that this class set the stage for the entire event. It really put you into the right mindset and have the right perspective for the whole event.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, that makes me so happy to hear. The best don't settle. They lead. The Venture Strategy Network is your gateway to elite strategies, peer collaboration, and sustainable growth. Tailored for the top 1% of shops, this network isn't for everyone, just the best. Apply today at wearetheinstitute.com and secure your place among industry innovators. It's time for today's Suck Less Spotlight from AutoFlow. Today's spotlight is on advisor eye twitches. Listen, clients like to stay informed throughout the repair process, and studies indicate clients are most satisfied receiving text updates versus phone calls. But call you they will, interrupting everything from estimating to quality conversations and your game of solitaire. That is, unless you text them first using AutoFlow. With AutoFlow's automated text updates, your phone only rings for the right reasons. That way, with less phone interruptions, your eye twitch will definitely suck less. For this and more things that could suck less, visit AutoFlow.com. Are you tired of juggling multiple tools to manage your auto repair shop? Say goodbye to the chaos and hello to the streamlined efficiency with AutoLeap, the #1 all-in-one auto repair shop management software. With AutoLeap, you can sell more, save precious time, and delight your customers with every interaction. How? By harnessing the power of cutting-edge technology that brings you real-time actionable insights. From scheduling appointments to creating estimates, generating invoices, managing technicians, and seamlessly syncing with QuickBooks to keep your records updated, AutoLeap does it all for you. Visit AutoLeap.com and book a demo today. Ready to boost your auto repair shop success? ShopDog Marketing is here to help you. We put customers first using AI to create standout content that ranks. Harness the power of mobile first and voice search and let our expert team help you sweeten your revenue with more car count. ShopDog Marketing offers a free guide on using AI to drive more repair orders. Get your guide today and watch your auto repair shop thrive. Visit shopdogmarketing.com. Unlock your communication insights with Inbound's AI-powered call analytics for auto repair shops. Learn more at callinbound.com. I've been presenting for a little while now. Sometimes the idea, and I've seen other presenters go through this phase and some are still in it, where the idea is like, I hope I do a good job. I hope we do a great presentation and people see how whatever. And it becomes very me type focused. And that's not the right approach. It has to be others focused. And I just can't think of a topic that's easier to be others focused with than the idea of others coming and being the presenters in the class, being there on the stage, getting to say something, be seen, be heard, be known, and get to know other people throughout that experience as well. For me, it's just so much fun to observe that. I think my favorite moment came up then too, during the trade show portion. We're at our booth and Jesse came up with his family. His wife and his kids were all there. They're local to the region. It was so neat to hear. He had told his family about the fact that he'd given the speech. His daughters and kids are there smiling. His wife is there beaming, smiling behind him too. They were so proud of him for getting up and had heard he's done this speech. And I just thought it was the neatest thing to see them reflecting the pride that they had for their dad doing a hard thing in front of a group of people. And wow, what a powerful thing that is for kids to recognize that in their father and that authority that can give those kids to then do likewise in their own lives. When their dad can put himself out of their comfort zone and do that. Oh, beautiful thing. Just a beautiful thing. Oh, man. So the comfort zone, very much not your comfort zone, I'm hearing, being in front of a group.
Not at all.
But you work with the public every day. One-to-one communication skills, comfortable?
Yeah, one-on-one is perfectly fine. But you put me in a group of 4, 5, 6 or more, that's rough.
Was it always comfortable for you from going from technician mode to service manager mode?
Not particularly. So I remember my first day, I took a job as a glorified service advisor. My job was a technical services manager.
Technical services manager. That's a new one.
It was at a chain lube shop kind of thing. It was a service advisor role with a fancy title. But the first day, they were like, hey, call this customer and let them know this, and this about this car. I'm like, you want me to do what now? Call. You want me to call them? It's like, what did I sign up for? But, I did it and it got real easy, especially over the phone. When you don't have someone looking you in the eye, it's easier. And then, the skill comes around a little while. The in-face or in-person is easier and easier. And now it seems like it's second nature.
It's the path, right? Once you're outside of that comfort zone, try something new, and then you repeat. It's just how it goes. That's interesting. So when you did that technical services, that was after all the heavy work that you were doing.
That was a very short-term dip my toes in the water of, getting out of the shop.
Okay, so was there a situation in your case where they're like, you know what, Drew? You talk good. Let's put you on the phones, or you should do this sort of thing. Or is that just the opportunity that was in front of you?
It was at a completely different shop. So I switched jobs entirely. I just wasn't happy where I was wrenching. So I was like, you know what? Instead of trying to do the same kind of thing somewhere else, I'm going to try something completely different. It worked out. Didn't particularly like where I was working at, but I enjoyed the job more.
Try something different is another act of stepping out of a comfort zone for sure, man. Not an easy step. A lot of people will stay where they're unhappy for a lot longer than they should. I've done that myself in the family business environment, working on transmissions versus doing the things I get to do now. It doesn't always appear like something that would be possible. And people could talk themselves out of it real easily. So stepping out of the comfort zone, you did that obviously in the class. You came up, you asked for us to let you do that speech. Did you know that we were even saying that, like, hey, get others to do it? I can't remember if we really said, hey, come up and talk to us.
I don't think you guys did, but on break, someone mentioned that I'm going to do a speech before the end. I was like, oh, crap. Now I really need to.
Nice. Yep. No, I'm glad people had that. Evidently, we must have created enough comfort to say that we can structure things as we want. Not that Chris and I structure things too heavily. We have a general idea in mind, generally how we want it to go all the time. But this is our first time doing it all day, too. So I was so happy to have people come up and say that, because my fear anyways, is that we wouldn't have enough volunteers, that we would have to try to pick someone or push them, or that people just wouldn't have the gumption to want to get up there and do what we're asking them to do, right? But you did it. All right. Nice. What else were you thinking in this class? Any other major takeaways other than being up there and speaking in general, listening to others?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be happy with this. I've been looking for a local Toastmasters.
Hey, the next step. You're right. Happy.
Unfortunately, the local Toastmasters, the timing on them is just not conducive to me. A lot of them are in the middle of the day, which doesn't work.
I don't know how they do it. No, I would never make it.
I know. The one that is after hours or after work hours is way after work hours, an hour from where I live.
Oh, dear. It sounds like everything's an hour from where you live, and that sounds like everything I know about Central Illinois. Yeah. No, the joke I made driving down there when I told people we had to drive, it's like, oh, you had to drive? I said, we did, but I got to see everything from Chicago Midway all the way to Kansas City. It's not very much, huh? Nope.
No, it's not. Well, you see, there's that tree and that farm.
But I think I saw that one already. Yeah. No, that's tough. So when you're looking for a Toastmasters club, it can be really tough. If you're in a rural area, that is a challenge. Online clubs used to be a lot more common during the COVID years, but they went out of style pretty quick because everyone appreciates the thing they want to do in Toastmasters the most is get in front of a group of people. You can't do that as well. And Zoom fatigue and online fatigue, that's a real thing that we all experienced during COVID. So getting to be in person, naturally desired. There's an idea of starting one in your area, which can be taught. And that's a pretty major step. But no, that's great that you're looking into that. Keep looking. Hopefully you'll find a chance, and even if it is just once a month, you can make it to something. A lot of times it becomes a really good group if you can find them.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it works out.
Me too, man. So how many people are on your team at the shop?
So we've got 3 technicians, myself and a service advisor. We've got a detailer, and then we've got a car salesman, and obviously our owner.
That's a Toastmasters meeting. Yeah, no, even team meetings, though, one thing that we try to do, if Toastmasters isn't possible, you probably have regular team meetings, I'm guessing, yeah?
Not terribly often.
Ah, all right. Well, maybe that's another good next step. Encourage the owner to help organize at least, I always say, at least a weekly. I like a beginning of the week, end of the week meeting. You get 30 minutes of people's time, or even over breakfast, or even a lunch for that matter. And if you give people an opportunity to chair, or maybe you do like a table topics type prompt or something like that, you can usually try to get some people out of their shell a little bit. People get to know each other at the same time too, and you can really run an effective, quick little meeting with a purpose, hopefully, for keeping things organized at the shop. It'd be something I'd love to see. Well, hopefully you can bring that spirit there, man, because yeah, it sounds like you're going out there, you're getting the training, and you went self-funded. Your boss gives you the time off, fortunately, and the other crew members, have they ever gone to an event like Vision?
So no, last year, my service advisor was going to go with me, and we had both gotten tickets for just the weekend last year. Unfortunately, he got sick just a day or two before we were going to leave. He had to stay home.
So they ask you about what you learned?
Yeah. You know, as with, I'm sure, any other event like Vision, you don't remember half of what you learned until you go back through your notes. There is just so much information that's thrown at you. Thankfully, I got all the PDFs saved along with all my notes. So, you know, I can go back, and I have been going back and looking and going, oh, I don't even remember writing that down.
Yeah, notes are good for that. That's good. Well, I guess let me ask you this as we wrap this up. What were some of your other takeaways from Vision? You had the class with us at the beginning. So glad that went well, set a good stage for you. What else did you walk away from that you can recall?
I had Rick White's class.
Oh, I love Rick.
I know.
Rick is a cool dude.
Yes. He brings a lot of energy.
Yes, he does.
I love it. I took his class on keeping your A-team.
Keeping your A-team. Nice one.
He had some really neat ideas. One that I'd never heard of that evidently Zappos and Amazon is doing, where, you know, you're offering your employees money to quit. And, you know, if they quit, they're obviously not someone that wants to work for you. Whereas if they say, no, I don't want the money, I want the job. That's a crazy idea, but it makes sense.
Yeah. How much money we talking though?
What would it take for you to quit your job?
Yeah, I kind of like what I do, and I really respect my boss. So it'd be a big, big number, but I think I could still be bought. Everybody's got a number, Drew.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's not going to be $3,000, $4,000, $5,000.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. No.
The way that he said Amazon or Zappos did it was $1,000 per year for up to 5 years.
Wow. So I bet that would be the scariest takeaway for a lot of people to bring to their class.
Oh, yeah. It's terrifying.
It could cost them terribly.
He said, you don't do that, or you don't offer that to everyone all at once.
That's really good advice.
You'll end up in big trouble.
Yes. That could be really bad. Yeah. Oh, no. A bold move. You know, one of the best book recommendations came to me from Rick White. The book, Miller's Bolt is the name of the book. I'll have to look it up, pop it in the show notes. Great read. And it'd probably be a really good listen to. Parabolic type leadership story and of self-discovery as, and learning how to change yourself. A guy putting himself out of his comfort zone. Really good read. That was a really good recommendation. I think that came up in a conversation we were having with Carm Capriato. It is on, I think, one of the town hall academies. Me and my friend Andy Polina runs a shop just down the street from me. I think we were talking about mental health of all things in the industry or attitude. I think it was attitude. Great topic. Good stuff. Drew, this is fun for me, being able to connect with people. So I hope we get to stay in touch, and I hope you can take some next steps in your communication journey. And I will say this, although it is the middle of the day, it is online. The Remarkable Results Toastmaster Club, you're welcome to come as a guest as often as you want. It's 2:00, first and third Thursdays each month. You can do that speech. You can do it again if you want to nail it with all the parts that you wanted to get in there again. And
I'm going to nail it on my next class with you at next year's vision.
Heck yes, dude. Yeah, dude. I want it. Yes.
Absolutely.
No, man, thanks so much. Your story too. I really want to hear that other part of it because a lot of people have that story where their dad or their mom or loved ones discourage our industry. And when you add to that what people might have perceived as a handicap for you, which you proved them was not keeping you back, you were able to, oh, that's a beautiful story arc, man. That is the type of story that helps people understand what we have to do here as ambassadors for this industry. It is sometimes about proving them wrong, but we prove them wrong with a story that actually touches them. And that's what it can do. I think it's inspiring. Well done, man.
Thank you.
Well done. Any final comments you would like to make?
Just thank you for having me. Thank you for putting on the class. I mean, it really, without a doubt, changed my whole experience at Vision. It really has changed my outlook on a lot of things.
Awesome. Hey, man, speaking, it's amazing because you get to connect with people. When you speak your heart, people feel. And as much as I was having a conversation with Marianne Croce on this too, it's like anybody that's changing anything, it isn't facts. It isn't figures. It isn't statistics or anything else. People make decisions based on feelings. It's always based on feelings. And the whole objective that you had there is like you wanted to inspire people, give them the sense of hope. That's great. That's what we do. And that's what's going to help them take the next step. So, Drew, keep being the model. Everyone that stood up in front of that class has my undying respect. I know what it takes. It's not easy.
Absolutely.
But it pays off, dude. Well done, sir. So, if you all have anything you want to speak about, thank you, first of all, for listening. Listening is always one of the prerequisites to becoming a better communicator, and we really appreciate our loyal audience here on Speak Up Effective Communication. Please reach out to us here. The best way to reach us is speakup@craigoneal.net, O'Neill with 2 L's. We appreciate hearing anything that'll help you or anything you want to learn more about, communication topics that are interesting to you, or if you want to join us as a guest and share something about yourself, please reach out and let us know. And don't forget, check out the other shows on the Aftermarket Radio Network. There's Remarkable Results Radio with Carm Capriato. It is the podcast that started all the podcasts, the pioneer in our industry. Then Diagnosing the Aftermarket A through Z with Matt Fonslow. Gosh, Drew, I would think that C in that, between A and Z, C's got to be communication. If he hasn't, we're going to push that on Matt. We absolutely will. Then Business by the Numbers with Hunt Demarest, the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast with Brian and Kim Walker, and the Weekly Blitz from Coach Chris Cotton. Once again, thanks to all of our sponsors. Thank you, our loyal listeners, for joining us. Get out there, listen up, speak up. and just have some fun up there and raise people up too.
You've been listening to Speak Up, Effective Communication with Craig O'Neill on the Aftermarket Radio Network. Follow Craig on your favorite podcast listening app and on his YouTube channel. Let him know what you'd like him to speak up about. Craig is all for advancing the automotive service aftermarket.